Okay, here's another common one.
Yeah.
The wall was just about 1 meter high from the ground.
That's another comical one. The reason it's comical is when you measure a height, it's naturally from the ground. If you are measuring something from the top down, you are measuring depth, not height any longer. so it's comical to say something is 10 feet high from the
From the
ground.
ground. No point. So
So
let's
from the
just say
ground,
the wall was just 1 meter high.
high is verbosity. Don't forget redundancy crops up from several sources. And that is why redundancy is so easy, is so prevalent in the writing of people, even good writers, because the sources are so many. Either you are using unnecessary prepositional phrases, you are using verbosity, you are using bombasts, you are using circumlocution. For instance, a circumlocutory expression is, in the course of the lecture, the professor said so. All you are saying there, in an indirect form, is during the lecture. The 4 words there, you can use just one word for it. So that is redundancy deriving from circumlocution or an unnecessary prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase is any phrase that starts with a preposition. Yeah.
So, Prince, another example you have in your book here is an interesting one you have here in page 25. The source of the fire was from the kitchen. The source of the fire was from the kitchen.
Well, I think the word from is the redundancy there. It's not required. The source is the kitchen, so it's clear. It delivers the message, so it's extra luggage put in from.
Source
there.
already says where the fire.
Exactly, the source of the fire is
from.
exactly. So,
Okay, this is one that is also very common. Millicent is still not back yet.
still and yet, these are the words that should not go together in the same construction, in the same sentence. Millicent is still not back, or Millicent is not yet back. So one of those 2 words should go. You can take still yet together, but you hear it everywhere. And people write this, yes.
Okay. A man of Sierra Leonean origin was arrested in the area.
Well, all you want to say there is a Sierra Leonean man. A Sierra Leonean man. You see, it's clumsy, it's not elegant writing.
Because it already talks about the origin anyway.
Yes, exactly. A Sierra Leonean man was arrested. You see, don't forget the essence of the whole of this work, this 500-page plus book, is lucidity and fluidity in writing. It's helping writers to eliminate those barriers to correct usage, elegant writing, and effective communication. In other words, if you can watch out for the errors, the pitfalls highlighted in this book and addressed in this book, you're likely going to write better.
A lot better.
Every one of us can make any of those mistakes, but it's only asking us to be more conscious of such things when we write. Ask yourself, is this sentence not getting too long? Am I repeating myself? Am I getting verbose? Is there circumlocution here? Then you write better if you can observe those rules and regulations. Yeah.
And these explain the difference in feelings we have when we read texts.
Yes.
There are times you read certain texts and you have this you feel good about what you're reading.
It's like
it's easy.
It's like you witnessed my experience. I was reading something written by, what's the name of this professor? He's a retired surgeon from the University of Ibadan. He was also vice chancellor in some places. I was a medical surgeon, you know. I read what he wrote. I would stop to clap at some points, and I will stop to, shout, and because it was sheer music. I was enjoying everything. And he was talking about something really technical, but the way he presented it, it's irresistible. It's riveting, absolutely riveting. You will see what I call lucidity and fluidity in it.
There's a big problem with young people in Nigeria, isn't it?
Okay.
The way they write. You must have observed that. I mean, you see that in articles they write, when they do write articles, in their CVs, you know, the way these CVs are, you know, written, in application letters. You must have observed that. There's a big problem there, isn't it?
That is true. Very, very serious problem. And I think the problem is, the reason is, people do not know these rules. You might have been taught in primary school. Some of these things are taught in primary schools and in the secondary school. But it seems people just ditch these things the moment they finish one grade. You finish your school certificate, you tend to forget about everything you've been told for your school certificate examination, whereas you need these things for life. You need them for life. Take, for instance, parts of speech. Parts of speech, I will say, is the very first lesson in English grammar. Because when your teacher has finished with you on how to form words, B-O-O-K, book, C-A-T, cat, the next thing, they want to teach you how to string words together to make statements. And you cannot do that without being taught the categories, the word categories to which these words belong. If you say she is coming, you have to know what she belongs to, what is belongs to, coming what it belongs to. So people have very serious problems with this kind of thing. It's like the fellow who wrote The Nigerian Economy is in comatose. You get yes, you get the suspicion that this fellow is not familiar with parts of speech, which I say is the very first lesson in English grammar, and it is. But people tend to ditch these things, they forget them, they just throw them away, they don't know they need it for life. So the young ones need to be very cognizant. In our days, we were told to read newspapers, listen to radio, watch television, so that you will write very well and speak very well.
Yeah. Prince Omolayo, let's take a break now. We'll be back right after this break.
Okay.